Okay, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys 10 useful tips for box fights, and I'm gonna just kind of lay them out real quick and simple. I'm not gonna go too much in depth with these videos and these tutorials for these tips. I just kind of want to lay them out quickly for you guys so you guys can try them out and use them for yourself. Most of these tips are from FaZe Martos. I kind of studied his YouTube videos and his game just to analyze it and learn from him because he's a really good player. He has a lot of arena points right now, and I know he's a very good box fighter. So without further ado, let's get into the first tip. Okay, so for this first tip, what you want to do is when you have a player outside your box, they might drop down on you and they might place a stare. So the very first thing you want to do is if they're in this situation, you kind of want to block their field of view, and an easy way to do that is to just edit the first tile like this, or you might be able to do a side tile as well. But if you just do this first tile and then you take your cone out and then you look little more than halfway up this first little cone, this first little wall edit right here, you place a cone and you reset really quick, and then you jump and peanut butter and boom. All right, so this next tip is, let's say that you have someone pressuring your wall. So go ahead, pressure my wall now. So he's pressuring my wall and like he's just spraying, he's trying to get in my box. All right, you can stop. Let's say hypothetically he keeps going, right? What you want to do is that if you have this cone, make sure you have a cone in your box. You want to just flip the reset really quick and then just edit and then pump them right in the face, and it will catch people off guard because they're not expecting you to edit this cone. They're thinking that you're just gonna stay behind it and kind of hide behind it. But if you do kind of a heads up play and just edit really quick and pump them in the head, you might catch them off guard. So this next tip I learned from FaZe Martos himself. It's a very useful tip for when you're being pressured outside of the box. So for example, I'm the one that is going to get killed here. So in slow motion, it looks like this. We're going to try and do this real slow. So I just pretend I'm axing this. He claims it back and then edits me, and I'm kind of taken off guard because I didn't really know. I was like, why is this kid placing a stare in his box? Like, it's kind of confusing. Okay, so from the inside of the box, what you want to do is, like, if he's trying to take my wall, just hold your wall and hope to God that he doesn't get it, because then that will throw off the whole trick. Make sure that just your head is exposed so he can see the least amount of your body. You place the stare first and then edit and then try and kill him, because if you edit this first, let's say that you edit this first and then try and place this, you might place it above him like this as well. It might just be awkward for you at that point. And then on top of that, he's gonna have first shot. So what you want to do is just place it first, like he's coming, he's axing, and then you go boom boom and then headshot. So the very first thing you want to do for this next tip is when you're coming up to a box, you want to just bait your pickaxe being taken out. That way it will throw the opponent off guard and he might think that you're trying to pickaxe his wall, because a good player is usually gonna try and shoot you when you have your pickaxe out, because that's when you can't shoot back. But just understand that you always want to take out your shotgun and try and bait the other player. So this next tip is kind of a situational tip because you might not always have an RPG in your inventory, but let's say that you get a player weak, you're pressuring his wall, whatever, right? And he's staying in his box, he's just being a pest. Like, what you want to do is you want to get your RPG, you want to come over here, place the stare over here, and then just try and get into his box by shooting the RPG at like the middle of this ramp. And then you might, if he's not holding the flooring cone, you're just gonna phase right through. And if he is, you can try and shoot and hold and replace the floor in the cone yourself and then edit in. That's another way of doing it. But fast motion, I'm gonna show you guys the trick. Also, another RPG trick is that if you come over here and you just want to get inside of his box, if you place two walls and then you jump and then shoot the corner, you have to make sure you jump so you kind of deflect the explosion, but you jump and then go right in his box and boom. So for this next tip, if you're coming down on if you're coming down on a player like this, holy shit, that is sus, and you wanna attack their wall and you're trying to axe their wall, the second you kind of jump down, a decent player, maybe he might not, but he might try and peanut butter you or like try and edit on you really quickly or do some fancy move. When you're coming down on a box like this and you don't have a cone or anything above your head, you want to kind of stay really high up, so if they do place a cone, it kind of morphs you above it and not below it. That way you don't get trapped. And another thing is, let's say like you're axing this, and then like as I'm axing, he's gonna try and make like a peanut butter shot. So go ahead, as I'm axing, Like the second I take out my axe, like just peanut butter. What I want to do is I want to jump. So I swing my axe and I jump and then I take out this. That way I'm deflecting his shot. And also at the same time, you want to make sure that you jump because you're furthering the distance that the pellets can hit you, and therefore you're going to take less damage if you do that. So you want to jump and then place this flat here. And then let's say you hit it once and then on the second try, he knows that you're going to do it again. So then he'll edit. What you want to do is you want to just hit it once, boom, right? And then you reset. And then that way, if you want to come down and attack it again, you just go boom, boom. And then from there, you can, you know, do whatever once you get that wall. All right, so for this next tip, let's say there's an opponent inside this box and I know that he's weak. And let's say I wall replace this, right? I get this cone. And now what I do is if I edit this, he might try and peek me really quickly, right? So what I want to do is I want to edit this and then he edits and then I shoot and place a wall here. That way I deflect a shot if he shoots me. And the trick is to do this really fast, but at the same time, it's very important that you, whenever someone's in the box like this, if he's jumping, then I want to jump backwards because I want to try and reduce as much damage as possible. So by doing the jump backwards, it helps with reducing the damage. And also by placing this wall, you can protect yourself against other shots as well. I just want to point out that jumping in box fights, especially when you're on top of the box backwards and taking shots at the same time, is very, very useful. You see a lot of pro players doing this as well. Okay, so right now, really quickly, I'm going to go over some general tips about just box fights and things that I do when I'm inside my own box and just ways of countering different things. So whenever I'm in a box, it's very important to place a cone in your box and not a stair. Cones are way more useful and you can kind of get angles better, and it's just always have a cone in your box whenever you're doing box fights. You can edit things just like a stair, so it's way better than a stair. If I know that there's a guy outside my box, he's trying to pressure me, right? The first thing I look for is for when he comes up to my box. Let's say he has a gun out. So go ahead, take your gun out. Let's say he has a gun out, and then now the second he goes to wall replace, he's gonna take out his pickaxe, right? So he takes out his pickaxe. The second I see him take out his pickaxe, that's when I want to shoot him because he can't shoot me back. That's just one thing that you have to keep in mind. If someone goes to axe your wall, so they axe it once, go ahead, axe it once, and then he might take out his shotgun. So I'm baiting him now. So if he does it again. Okay, so right here, I want to point something out, a very situational thing as well. If someone right here is pressuring your box, let's say they edit on you and they get both this and the floor. First things that are going through my mind is, does he have this wall right here? Can he see me if I'm down here? Like, those are just some things that I'm picking up as I'm playing. So the first thing I do, so if he's, let's say this is his, right? He edits this. The first thing go ahead, edit. The first thing I do is I duck, I come down here, I hug the wall, and then I might shoot and then look up right away and place a wall. That way I'm deflecting his shots and getting a shot off at the same time. These are some of the things that you want to think about, is like how I can place a wall or a cone and like block off my opponent and let's take as least amount of damage as possible whenever box fighting someone. There's many situations to where you can kind of box your opponent in and trap him, but when he's coming here, let's say I'm pressuring him, right? I'm spraying his thing. He might move to a different box. So if he moves to a different box, I claim this double edit, right? And then the very next thing I do is that from here, I place these two walls because he either thinks that this box is his, and the second he sees this double edit, he might try and leave on this wall over here. But if he does that, he can't, and that's when he's literally dead. Like, you're gonna two-piece him from here. You want to claim literally everything and block where they might go to. That way you can guarantee yourself the kill and guarantee yourself the loot. This is the very last tip that I have for you guys, and it's when someone is pressuring your box, and let's say he comes in the box and he places a stair over me. The very first thing, if you're in this position, I might be weak because this might be the only reason they might come in the box. So if I'm here, what I want to do is I want to kind of just like have my shotgun ready, and if he sees that if I have my shotgun ready, he might not edit on me, which is like something that a smart player would do because he might get pump shotted and just get one shotted. So what I want to do is, if I'm in here, the way I kind of get out of this is that if I just kind of shoot his wall and I replace his stair with my own, if my back is against the wall, I have a free pump shot, and then I can just shoot him and jump and protect myself. Now I'm in control of the fight. And obviously I may not 200 pump him all the time, but you got the point. I just want to inform you guys that I do live stream on Twitch very often, so feel free to come through and say hello in the chat. I'd love to get to know more of you guys. If you guys have any further questions, you can either ask me in Twitch chat or you can leave it in the comment section down below. I literally answer every single comment and heart and favorite every single one. I love to have conversations with people. I love to help people with their PC problems as well. So if you guys need any help or tips or just want to talk, feel free to join the Discord. All my links will be in the description down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.
Get on in there! Get on in there!